Alright, the name of the device is chimp3, which is a play on chimpanzees, an MP3 player. Let's start with the front. These things are spacers to keep the, well, this thing's going to be latched down to a cage. The chimp is here where the camera is viewing from. This is the cage. These things are to just some spacers so that the chimp's supposed to be pretty strong so they don't have full force when interacting with it. Then you have your 6 buttons, each associated with a different type of music. Pressing a button once will start a music selection. Pressing it again before 2 minutes will stop that selection. Pressing it again, as opposed to pressing it the first time, within 2 minutes, a different button will start a different music selection. And I guess that's it for the front. The back of the unit, I guess first has these tie downs. They're supposed to be pretty strong. Big tensile strength of about 1,000 pounds. It's all made of this little Rubbermaid plastic that's supposed to be cheap. It's like, I think $7 for this. The previous one was made of steel, and steel is pretty expensive and pretty heavy, so we changed back to this. Now the inside. Actual electronics, the whole unit just consists of power supply, a battery, lead acid, a little power module type thing with a crystal oscillator, and a little isolation circuit for the SD card reader, which was giving us some problems, so we had to completely isolate it from the rest of the circuit. We have the voltage regulators with a heat sink, a MP3 player that stores music on an compact flash card, and the microprocessor with a very expensive adapter, but that's what we needed. And oh, finally the FM transmitter, which will be used to play each selection on the portable stereo system.
Okay, why don't you set it down, look at that. I'm working with some people at the Primate Foundation of Arizona on a research question that they started working on a couple of years ago that involves offering chimpanzees that are housed in laboratory situations or by extension in zoo situations a chance to listen to music. And they started by just playing music over their own loudspeaker system and collecting behavioral data. And what they found was that music seemed to influence the animal's behavior. What that meant generally was that with regard to the males, it tended to lower their aggression levels, and with females, it tended to increase their social behaviors, the time they spent sitting near one another and the time they spent grooming. And then they got interested in the question of, well, what would happen if they had control over whether or not the music was there? And that started them on kind of a long trek of finding some way to present music to animals that are housed in a cage. And they went through a big battery of Fisher-Price type toys with little piano keys that did this and that. And that's real awkward. And their vision was to try to come up with a piece of apparatus that could be presented to the front of the cage. And so that's what we're working on now. But it's all intended to enliven things a little bit for animals that are housed in what's otherwise a pretty quiet environment, and to give them something sort of different to do once in a while.